Naturally, the day has come and gone, but happy Easter to those of you who celebrate this special day here in the United States. But there's a little bit of controversy brewing. And before I play the audio pertaining to this observance of Trans Day, let me give you the information before everybody gets their underwear tied in a knot. Thank you for joining me. Oh, mercy, mercy, mercy. On Transgender Day of Visibility, we celebrate the joy, strength, and absolute courage of some of the bravest people I know. Biden in 2021 became the first president to issue a formal proclamation recognizing the March 31st event, which originated in 2009. Okay? So, for those of you who are curious, this allegedly happened 2 years back and '09. So St. Louis Post-Dispatch is the source. I'm going to give you a little bit of that information before I play the audio because I know people will come in and see the title. They'll go ham. So I want to give you a backdrop, a bio on the situation first before everybody gets all riled up. President Joe Biden is facing criticism from Mr. Trump his campaign, and religious conservatives for proclaiming March 31st, which corresponds with Easter Sunday this year, as Transgender Day of Visibility. The Democratic president issued the proclamation on Friday, calling on all Americans to join us in lifting up the lives and voices of transgender people throughout our nation and to work toward eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. This is on Mr. Biden's social media page. On Transgender Day of Visibility, we celebrate the joy, strength, absolute courage of some of the bravest people I know. Today, we show millions of transgender and non-binary Americans that we see them, they belong, and they should be treated with dignity and respect. Trans rights are human rights. Biden-Harris. Biden in 2021 became the first president, once again, to issue a formal proclamation recognizing the March 31st event, which originated in 2009. So then we have to ask ourselves that. Well, if it started in 2009, why is it just now being acknowledged 2024? Because that's 15 or so years. So many people are going to question that. And I've already questioned why Easter fell on this day. And I'm going to bring you the backdrop of why Easter was today, March 31st. Okay. But in 2024, the March 31st designation overlaps with Easter, one of Christianity's holiest celebrations. Trump's campaign accused Biden, a Roman Catholic, of being insensitive to religion, and fellow Republicans piled on. We call on Joe Biden's failing campaign and White House to issue an apology to the millions of Catholics and Christians across America who believe tomorrow is for one celebration only, which is today. The resurrection of Jesus Christ, said Carolyn Levitt, the Trump campaign's press secretary. She assailed what she called the Biden administration's years-long assault on the Christian faith. So other people have gone on and on. I'm not here to repeat everything that everybody has to say about this. I'll read one person's comment. It says, as a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden stands for bringing people together and holding the dignity and freedoms of every American. Bates said President Biden will never abuse his faith for political purpose or for profit. Biden devoutly attends Mass and considers his Catholic upbringing to be a core part of his morality and identity. In 2021, he met with Pope Francis at the Vatican and afterward told reporters that the pontiff said he was a good Catholic who should keep receiving communion. But Biden's, why did they throw that in there? Good Lord. But Biden's political stances on gay marriage and support for women having the right to abortion have put him at odds with many conservative Christians. Ooh, Lordy, this is some. St. Louis Post-Dispatch is the source, everybody, of this information, if you are curious. So let me go into the reason why we celebrated Easter today. For those who are, I'm sure, very, very curious, because I was curious. I've never celebrated Easter in March, to my knowledge. So this is strange. And let's see, it says, it says, is there a March 31st? Yes, it is. Why is March 31st special? Just going into Google search. And it goes on to say, um, March 31st is the 90th day in the Georgian calendar. It marks the anniversary of the official opening of the Eiffel Tower and the first time daylight saving time goes into effect in the United States. Famous March 31st birthdays include Christopher Walken, Al Gore, Ewan McGregor, blah, 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 Conrad Sewell. I'm trying to get some just more information about March 31st. Does Easter always fall on March 31st? That's a good one. You're actually most likely to see Easter falling on March 31st or April 16th, which have the greatest frequencies of claiming the holiday. We also saw unique but uncommon occurrences this year. Ash Wednesday, the first day of Lent, landed on Valentine's Day. Okay. Let's get the backdrop of Easter and why it failed today. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Vault XL. There are a few people who are not happy. Probably a lot of conservatives. Might be some independents, Democrats as well. Because as I tell people, just because somebody rides on a certain team does not mean they agree with everything that somebody of their party does. Because a lot of people believe that. I don't believe that because I don't agree with everything that Democrats do, vote. I'm my own unique person. Let's see here. Let me bring you the backdrop of why Easter failed today, in case you didn't know. Let's see. Well, FoxNews.com is the source. Thank you for joining me. Easter, which is not a fixed date, will be observed this year on March 31st. The holiday is celebrated on the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon, or Paschal, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, which is the first full moon occurring either on or after the spring equinox. According to the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, repeat, the holiday is celebrated on the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon, which is the first full moon occurring either on or after the spring equinox, according to the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. The Easter sunrise service of the Moravian Church, one of the oldest Protestant denominations, dates back to 1732 in Germany. On Easter morning, many Christians wake before dawn to celebrate their belief in the resurrection of Jesus, the Son of God, as the sun rises. They gather outside on beaches, church lawns, and local cemeteries, national parks, marking the holy day at the very core of Christianity. For the majority of the world's Christians, Easter Sunday, and in turn, the sunrise service tradition will be observed March 31st this year. Easter is not a fixed date. It swings between March 22nd and April 25th based on a calendar calculation involving the moon. See, I never knew it had anything to do with the moon. So I learned something new at 53. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops explains further. Easter is celebrated on the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon, which is the first full moon. Oops, sorry about that. Easter is celebrated on the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon, which is the first full moon occurring either on or after the spring equinox, March 21st. That means sunrise service attendees will be waking up early on the last day of March this year. Okay. Now, someone asks, it says, is there a religious reason for Easter sunrise services? There is biblical symbolism in the Easter worship for early risers. Now, this is biblical. So if you're not Christian, don't worry about it. Close your ears. In the New Testament's four Gospels, the resurrection story varies, but all tell of the four women followers of Jesus who discovered Christ's empty tomb at dawn, said the Reverend Jenny Tobiasen, pastor of Home Moravian Church in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where one of the most well-known sunrise services is held. When we as Christians stand in a graveyard at dawn, we are saying we believe in the resurrection. We are here among our dead celebrating the resurrection, she said. It's a message members of the Moravian Church, one of the oldest Protestant denominations in the world, have sent for nearly 300 years. Okay. Now, this is about the Moravian Church. Feel free to check this out because I don't want to really get into all that. But just giving you a synopsis. So this is about the Paschal moon. According to the Conference of Catholic Bishops, Easter is celebrated on the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon, which is the first moon occurring either on or after the spring equinox, March 21st. Woo, honey, let's get down to business. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome to the live stream. Let's hear the uproar here in America pertaining to this Easter falling on the 31st and Biden acknowledging Trans Day visibility. The point is, it was already put in motion a while ago. Let's see. I can't even find where I was. This is crazy. I'm squinting up here because I don't got my glasses on. Hold on. Oh, Lord of mercy. What a mess. It's always something in America. Always something, something, something. Okay, I think this is it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Honey. Oh, too much going on right now.
Tonight, backlash building over President Biden's proclamation of Easter Sunday as Transgender Day of Visibility. The Empire State Building in New York City will be lit tonight in pink, white, and light blue for the transgender flag, and Christians everywhere are outraged. Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson is live at the White House with new reaction. Lucas.
Well, Alicia, Republicans are blasting President Biden.
Let me say this again. It's Trans Day visibility. It was already put into motion in 2009. And then Mr. Biden, whomever, made mention of it going forward in 2021. Once again, for anybody coming into this live stream, this was already on the books 2 years ago and back 2009. Because Easter fell on March 31st, it happens to be that same day as this Trans Day visibility. You can feel free to Google it. I've brought you a source. Go back to the beginning of this live stream to get the said information. Thank you for joining me.
Biden over designating his proclamation, designating March 31st the Trans Day of Visibility, which this year happens to coincide with Easter. President Biden marking the solemn occasion on X, posting, quote, "Today on Transgender Day of Visibility, I have a simple message to all trans Americans. I see you. You are made in the image of God, and you're worthy of respect and dignity." Biden posted the following Easter greeting earlier this morning. "Jill and I send our warmest wishes to Christians around the world celebrating the power of hope and the promise of Christ's resurrection this Easter Sunday." Now, the Trump campaign responded earlier to both of these. Sadly, these are just two more examples of the Biden administration's years-long assault on the Christian faith. We call on Joe Biden's failing campaign and White House to issue an apology to the millions of Catholics and Christians across America who believe today is for one celebration only, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson said yesterday.
Before we get into that, the last statement was by the Trump administration. And Mr. Trump is not the president. But anywho, if Biden had not have said anything, there still would be some complaints. Because somebody would have said, well, why didn't he acknowledge the Visibility Day? It's been on the books. That's why I did my research before coming live. I always like to do a little bio before bringing any content that's, in the news break or the YouTube queue, because I don't like to fall flat on my face with any, not having a backdrop of information. So I've already brought you the information that Easter fell on the 31st due to the Paschal moon, number one. This Visibility Day has been on the books 2 years ago by Mr. Biden, and also originated in 2009. So this is before Easter fell on March 31st, 2024. So just so you know that. Because when people see the headlines, this is what they're going to be like, oh my gosh, because most of us were questioning why Easter was into March anyway, before we knew that this was Trans Visibility Day. This was designated for the day for Easter. Number one, because of the Paschal moon. And number two, this Visibility Day was already in the making years ago. So just in case some of you are confused, because that's why I did my research before I went live. Thank you. Let's continue this.
Quote, the Biden White House has betrayed the central tenet of Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus Christ, banning sacred truth and tradition while at the same time proclaiming Easter Sunday as Transgender Day is outrageous and abhorrent. The American people are taking note. Now, Georgia's Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock, who's also a reverend, disagrees.
Apparently, the speaker finds trans people abhorrent. And I think he ought to think about that. The fact of the matter is, as you said, March 31st has been a day to lift up transgender people who endure violence and bigotry. Easter, the date changes every single day, but this is just one more instance of folks who do not know how to lead us, trying to divide us. And this is the opposite of the Christian faith.
Now, tomorrow's the annual Easter egg roll here at the White House. The White House says it is banning any religious symbols from an art competition for the little children. Critics are saying, why call it the Easter egg roll? If you can't do religious symbols, might as well call it the holiday egg roll or just quite simply the egg roll. And as the senator mentioned, Easter, of course, doesn't always fall on March 31st. The next time Easter falls on March 31st, Alicia, 2086.
Lucas Tomlinson live at the White House.
2086.
Happy Easter to you and your family.
2086 will be the next time Easter falls. Oh, mercy. March 31st. So it's 24. That's 40 years from now. I'm 53. That means I'll be under 95 years of age, and I don't know if I'll live that long. It'd be nice if I am and lucid, but anywho, 2086, the next time Easter will fall on March 31st.
Thank you, Lucas. And before we get started, I do want to let everyone know we have heard from the White House on this. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates issuing a statement saying, quote, as a Christian who celebrates Easter with family, President Biden stands for bringing people together and upholding the dignity and freedoms of every American. Sadly, it's unsurprising politicians are seeking to divide and weaken our country with cruel, hateful, and dishonest rhetoric. President Biden will never abuse his faith for political purposes or for profit. Now, Joey, that statement there is actually a little bit for political profit when you read between the lines there, where he's actually kind of taking a dig at President Trump and the Bibles that he is selling. But what is your response to all this?
I think if you're President Biden and you haven't checked your watch on the tarmac in Afghanistan, if you haven't fumbled Lincoln Riley's name and weren't bullied into saying it, if you hadn't essentially ignored the fallen police officer that the entire country is memorializing and missing this weekend, if you hadn't done so many things that make Central Americans, right Americans, patriotic Americans, military Americans, police and fire Americans, blue-collar Americans feel personally aggrieved in the last couple of years, you probably could go through with the trans day on Easter and not a lot of things would be said about it. It's the entire body of work. When he sits there and they put out a statement that says, President Biden will not abuse his faith for political gain. That's interesting to me because he's abused his heritage. He's been Hispanic, Irish, Italian. He's abused his son's death. His son has died in Iraq multiple times compared to, according to him. So he's where's the dignity?
It's Fox News.
The dignity in the way he makes every single thing he does comment on, specifically about the hardship that he had. That's the way he identifies the thing. How does this matter to me? How am I involved in this? What does this mean to me? He gets caught time after time embellishing or lying about his own past in order to connect himself to something. And so then we come out with this, this.
I'm going to stop here. I haven't heard that he's Hispanic, Indian, this and that. I haven't. So maybe he's mixed with all those things because we know that people are of different races. You could have a white man that marries an Asian woman and make a baby, or make a baby with an Asian woman. You could have a Native American mating with a Caucasian who's Irish, Scottish. So maybe he comes from all of these things. I'm not here to say that Biden isn't all those things because maybe his heritage is Native American, Scottish, Irish, Italian, African American. Might be, because you really can't say a person is not all those things. Because when you go back in history, races have interlocked, and naturally, people don't really know what they are. You only know what somebody tells you. Somebody says, "Oh, I'm Irish," so you're gonna assume, well, I'm Irish because my mom's Irish or my dad's German. But you don't really know what a person is, because if a person was adopted, they could be anything and not even know it, and you just assume, well, that's what my mom and dad told me. So I'm gonna get my panties all in a knot because Biden says he's he's multiracial. I'm sure down the line he possibly is. Jesus.
Proclamation on Easter. I understand that the two dates are one moves, one doesn't. They fell on the same day. He's the first president to make the proclamation. He did it in 2021. He didn't have to. I'm sorry, but people that live an alternative lifestyle shouldn't get the same dignity and respect from our government as those that on Friday that fought in Vietnam. Not everybody gets.
Wow, that's deep. So now you hear him saying those who fought in the war shouldn't, should the day that we honor, I guess, the fallen, should we also be honoring trans people? Wow, that's deep. That's very deep. And as you see, if you go in Google search, there are certain days that, certain causes that are honored today. You understand what I'm saying? Because I had looked in there and they had, the Google search had other, causes that are honored March 31st. So one could argue, well, Jesus died on the cross for everyone. My pastor told me that homosexuality is only mentioned 2 times in the Bible. I'm going to trust his judgment on that. But as he said, I don't want a gay pastor in my pulpit. So there you have it. You could weigh it 2 ways. Jesus died for all of us. Should we make a big deal out of this? It's already on the books for March 31st. Nobody knew that Easter was going to fall today, because I surely didn't know that it was going to fall today until I counted the days and said, wait a minute, Easter, wait a minute, March 31st. So there you have it. What can you do about it? Because it's already been in the making that Easter would fall on March 31st. A calendar is made years in advance. So you have to try to use some type of common sense, before you get all riled up. Now, earlier when I thought about it, I thought, yeah, that don't really sound good. Trans Day visibility. But then I also have to remember, well, if I'm supposed to like everyone, care for everyone, would that be right? And would that be Christian-like? You're entitled to your opinion. But for facts, the day was already put in motion. March 31st for the Trans Visibility Day. 3 years ago, because it's 24, 3 years ago. And then it was originated in 2009. So some people probably don't know that. And Easter just happened to fall today, March 31st. So there's your conflict. Easter falling today, it is not a fixed date. If you Google, you'll see that. It's also been mentioned here in this commentary. It is not a fixed date, because sometimes people just assume, holidays or days observant, events that are observed, they're fixed dates. Easter is not a fixed date. I just brought you commentary. It falls between March 20-something up until April 15th or so. So it's not a fixed date. You're just not used to seeing it in March, the end of March. I'm not. So as I said before, this Trans Visibility Day originated in 2009, long before Easter fell today. 3 years ago, I guess it was put on the books. There you have it. Woo! What a doozy.
Today. That doesn't mean we don't like you or find you abhorrent. I don't know a Triple J day. I don't know people from Georgia day or people that talk like a hillbilly day. And I think all those people have all the respect in the world. So, you see this coming as a leader and understand not everybody gets a day, not everything he's turned Easter into a trans celebration in his tweets and comments. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and Lisa, we started this conversation yesterday, right? So much has happened in the last 24 hours. There's been a lot of criticism, but there's been actually some piling on from people in Biden camp. Particularly, we heard from the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, issuing a statement saying, on this day, the United States recognizes the achievements and progress that trans persons have made in the global struggle for equality and reaffirms its commitment to supporting the equality, inclusion, and full recognition of the human rights of transgender persons. Additionally, NBC News decided to also make a statement saying Transgender Day of Visibility is dedicated to celebrating trans people and acknowledging the discrimination the community faces. NBC News spoke to trans people about how their life satisfaction has changed since transitioning. Your thoughts?
Well, this is a clear effort and a coordinated effort to remove God from our society and to replace God with false gods. And in this instance, it's the trans community. They clearly want us to bow at the altar of the trans community instead of bow to God. And even if you don't believe in God, you should want to live in a society that does. Because what God does as a society means that we are accountable to something greater than ourselves. We are a society with boundaries. We're a society rooted in something deeper with meaning. As human beings, we're imperfect, we're fallible, we're sinful, we're all these bad things. Our founding fathers knew that, which is why they try to protect us from ourselves in the way they devised our government. They try to protect us from our worst impulses as a society. And a society that's God has no boundaries.
Goes
There's
in and
no
out.
wrong versus right. It is a selfish society, an inward-facing society, the kind of society right now that we have, right? A society where you have drag queens twerking for kids, where we're mutilating the bodies of young people in the name of transgenderism. So that's the kind of society we're living in. So even if you don't believe in God, you should want to live in a society that does.
Well, and David, now let's talk about this Easter.
Now, somebody might disagree with you there.
Right?
Some people don't believe in God, so
But kids now, they have this art contest, and these are the children of National Guard members. They're not allowed to have any religious symbols on the eggs for their artwork.
Yeah, and Joey, back me up on this one. And I have plenty of friends who've been in the MW war when they're deployed and they're talking to their kids on a video call.
Right now, what they're discussing, this is Fox News. And you know how a lot of people feel about Fox. Anywho, I just picked the first video that's talking about it. It's neither here nor there. What they're talking about is putting religious signs on the eggs. The White House is not allowing the children to put any religious signs on the eggs. This is some crazy. I don't know what to say about anything right now. Maybe I shouldn't even done this live because this is just like, this is going from one thing to the other. Now we're talking about Easter eggs. They don't want the children. So I guess if you're Jewish, they don't want you to put a Jewish sign on there. I guess if you're Christian, what is it, a cross? I don't know. I don't know where this is going. Anyway.
FaceTime call, something like that. A lot of times,
I'm drowning.
I've seen a few of these, more than a few of these. They're saying a prayer together. Pray for daddy to get home safe. Pray. So these are the very kids of our service members who sometimes with mom at home typically, and sometimes with dad at home, are saying a prayer together. And it's about that foundation of we want someone home safe.
Tacos, now.
Take that away from them. But it is a blindness, and it is also part of a strategy to not only take religion and play to their hard left progressive base out of the conversation.
Maybe somebody want to go
and
to the White House.
That is government, but it's also an attempt to gaslight the American people to get that reaction while they play to a very small base of people who may go along with this. But the majority of Americans come from a Christian spirituality, a Judeo-Christian background, Hellenic values, and we believe that is the foundation of a good society.
I just want to chime in. I think you're absolutely right. I think it's a bait. I really do. I think it's a bait to get an opportunity to paint anyone who disagrees as hateful, as spiteful, as resentful. I don't do any of those things towards people that are transgender. I just have a special place in my heart for Easter Sunday. And I don't think
y'all be nice in that chat.
I don't think it's hateful at all. And I don't think that everyone gets a day. I think that that's part of the problem, is this idea that we've gone from acceptance to adherence. And that's not what this country is built on.
And I should also mention, it's a long-standing policy of the White House. I mean, from what we're hearing from officials, that they're trying not to discriminate in the name of like race,
But they
religion,
don't
exactly. Christians will say they have to discriminate.
It's a random day created by a random person out of Michigan. No president has even marked it as any sort of proclamation until 2021. They could have observed it on any other day. Biden chose to observe it on Easter. I think it was with intention. It's a thumb in the face of Christians.
Well, was it deliberate to acknowledge it today? You're entitled to your opinion because, like I said, this allegedly, this trans visibility originated in 2009, okay? And wasn't put forward until 21. Once again, Easter is not a fixed date. It swings between March 22nd and April 25th based on a calendar calculation involving the moon. So, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops explains further, Easter is celebrated on the first Sunday after the Paschal full moon, which is the first full moon occurring either on or after the spring equinox, March 21st. In the end, man makes everything. Let's just keep it real. Man decides to do this, this, and this. It's just like any day that you want to deem a holiday, no day, Christmas, what I'm trying to say, Halloween. Think of it like this. Christmas is really supposed to be about Jesus. People bringing gifts to celebrate the king being born. But yet, it turned into also a man going down a chimney with gifts, with reindeer and a sled. Stay woke. Easter, no different. It's supposed to be about the Christ rising from the tomb. But then you're talking about Easter eggs and bunny in baskets. So man implemented the Easter bunny and man implemented Santa Claus riding a sled around with presents around the world with reindeer and going down the chimney, just saying, to take good children gifts. So you have to ask yourself, why would a person want to add the Easter bunny into a holiday about Christ rising versus Christ coming into the world and a fat white man going down the chimney with presents? Stay woke. It is what it is. It is what it is. Was he wrong for acknowledging the holiday today? That's my question. Should he have not said anything? Now you have this one guy who I'm assuming is a conservative. He's upset about some guy who passed away, I guess, in war, and that he didn't get any acknowledgement pertaining to this weekend. You're entitled to your opinion. So it's a toss-up. If you're a Christian, you're supposed to love everybody, acknowledge everybody, whether you agree with their lifestyle or not. And this is the day celebrating Christ rising from the tomb. Would he be displeased with me or whomever that believes in him to make a big deal about this day being on the books and or being recognized? Because it was already on the books a few years ago. That's the gist of the story. So I have to try to be objective, in my thought process about it was already on the books before we even knew that Easter was going to be today. So you're entitled to your opinion. I'm going to try to stay neutral and say nothing. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. What's going on? What are y'all talking about down there? We celebrate you tacos. What's going on with tacos? Am I missing something? What are y'all celebrating down there? Because I've been talking, I didn't see what you all are talking about. What are you all celebrating? Please talk to the queen. I'm curious. Oh, Lordy. Everything's... Jesus. I've been watching home decor all day because it's been a nice, nice day. A nice, nice day. That's where I was. So if you look at my community page, you'll see that's what I was talking about today. While I'm live, tomorrow, well, who are your people? Tacos, what are you talking about? Who are your people? Tomorrow is the start of jury selection for Chad Daybell. So those of you who have been following the content pertaining to Lori Vallow Daybell, which you know she's already been found guilty in the murder of her children and conspiring with Chad for the wife, his wife. Now it's time for Chad. So I will be bringing you coverage pertaining to Chad Daybell's trial, and naturally, you know, the upcoming trial pertaining to Lori in Arizona pertaining to her ex-husband, Charles. I'll bring you that update as well when that starts. Oh, okay. Oh, Diana. The world are my people, Queen, and they must celebrate me. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I'm just asking. I didn't know what was going on down there. I couldn't see. So, oh, Lordy. That's why it's always good to read things because it's easy to get yourself riled up when you see a headline and you don't do the research first. So naturally, I did my research first pertaining to this Easter holiday and then this Trans Visibility Day. And this Trans Day was already on the books back in 21. And naturally, this holiday is not a definite date. It's not a definite date. That's what it says there in the Google search. Easter is not a fixed date. So it can fall between middle of March to middle of April, which I never knew that. So I learned something new today. That's that. But starting tomorrow, Chad Daybell jury selection, everybody. So this week should be the start of the trial against Chad Daybell for the murders of Lori's children. And I guess his wife as well. Woo, this should be a doozy. They say they have a lot of evidence against Mr. Daybell. I say they do. When you go back in time and they went to his home and did a search and found some remains belonging to the children, DNA verified that those were Lori's children. You can't get more evidentiary than that. Jesus, well. We should all get a day, Queen, if trans ones get a day. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, well, Queen need a day. Queen need a day every day. How about that? I want a day too. I want a day off of stress and nonsense. That's what I want. Oh, Lord have mercy. But yes, starting tomorrow, jury selection for Chad Daybell, everybody. Let's see. Do I have any more about this Trans Day business, just in case anybody else wants to hear anything else? Anything else you all want to talk about before I check out of here? I'm 38 minutes into this live stream. Oh, Lordy me. This is going to be a big trial. Cameras. Oh, allowed in the court. Okay. Yes, it should. Everybody and their mama should be there. CNN, Court TV. It'll probably be a very busy week pertaining to Chad Daybell. Very, very busy day. Starting tomorrow, I mean. Is there anything else you all want to talk about before I check out of here? Did you all check out my video pertaining to Miss Nina Gomez, Mr. Proudfoot's wife? People are still talking about that. Wow, what a mess. What? Pinto says, don't go, Queen. Well, yeah, it's getting late, 10, but how do you all feel about Nina Gomez's interview? I'm talking about burn your eyebrows off. Mine are probably thinning like this hair, but I was like, damn. But this is the thing. It just goes to show you don't know people. I keep telling you all that. You don't know people. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know how they feel about things. And I will say, listening to her, it's just, as I said, a wake-up call to women. It's also a wake-up call to men as well, because a lot of men are in relationships that are not healthy, that possibly violent. Could be, the woman, she's violent, she acts out, spazzes out. It's the same. It's a two-way street for men as well. But damn, I just think she's lucky to be alive, in my opinion. After what she said, I don't trust those people. I don't trust those people at all. And the people who want to get involved in that nonsense in West Tennessee, searching and doing all that, you need to be very careful, because those people are not rap tight. And what you always have to remember, as we've seen with like this case here with Chad, Lori, her brother, all these different people joining in forces, you got people who would rally with these people. Mr. Proudfoot, his mama, daddy, stepdaddy, stepmama. And that's what you need to always remember. That's what you need to always remember. You can't just sit and think, they don't like what we're saying. They don't like what we're doing. They don't like that we're searching. You better believe there's some other people who will jump right on board and have something to say and might lash out. That's why I keep telling people, nobody really pays attention to what is really going on in the world. You're not really paying attention. You think you just can do what you want to do because you're grown. That's not realistic. That's not life. That's not life, okay? Nobody says, well, what am I trying to say? Because you're grown, it does not mean you can do what you want. That's just life. I'm going to go search for this kid. I'm going to go search for this lady. And in your mind, you're thinking it's not going to be no big deal. But you don't know anything about where you're going. You don't know anything about the people in the region that you're going. You just think because you show up, that means something. There are a lot of people who, one, don't like the media, the real media, like CNN, local news. They don't trust them. They don't trust authority. They don't trust the police. They don't trust the sheriff. And it ain't that they don't care about the story. They just know bullshit comes with bullshit. And a lot of people don't think like that. They just think, well, I'm an adult. I can go where I want. I can do what I want. I can pull out my iPhone. It doesn't work like that. A lot of people have been hurt walking around asking questions about stuff, whether they're the police, the sheriff, private investigators, bounty hunters, whatever. You don't know what you're going to encounter going out here asking people questions and knocking on doors. I mean, you could be out here actually looking for your sister. She's missing, and you just start knocking on people's doors. Have you seen my sister? She lives next door. She lives up on the 3rd floor. We haven't seen her. You don't know people. There's people who don't like to be involved. They don't care. They don't care about your sister. I'm just saying. And just think about people who, the person who got them gone. And then you start calling them. They don't answer. So now you go call their mother. Let's say a guy. And then you say, well, hey, how you doing? I'm trying to reach your son, but he won't answer, or he won't talk to me, or he hung up the phone on me. And then next thing you know, she's cursing you out. What the F you doing calling me? I ain't got nothing to do with it. And you're sitting there thinking, well, my sister's missing. Why are you getting an attitude? Because she can. It doesn't mean that it's right, but there are people who don't give a you-know-what. And it's time for everybody to start realizing everybody is not concerned the way you think they should be. True crime is why it's true crime. It's like self-explanatory. It's true crime. And you can assume that everybody's going to be on board with getting justice. Did it not dawn on you somebody just took somebody's life? So in your mind, you think what? You just go out here and start talking about the person and handing out flyers. Somebody cares? I mean, you can look at the comments. People say such ugly things. When things go wrong, people go missing. People start talking about what they did, what kind of life they had. God forbid they were on drugs, they were a prostitute, or they stripped, or they gangbanged, whatever it is. People start, as soon as they get a wind that they did something wrong, illegal, oh, hell, they go, wow. Woo, did you hear she did this? Woo, woo, woo. People are weird and people are sick. And a lot of people out here are just like the people who unalive the person. They are empty. They are shallow, they're narcissistic, they are sociopaths, psychopaths. So you sit here thinking, well, we go out here and talk about my missing sister. People are going to be concerned. Well, they're going to be people who don't give a damn. That's just the way it is. I remember a few years ago, there was a story out of Virginia of a Caucasian woman that was found discarded off the highway. And she was found, if I'm not mistaken, in the morning time. And what bothered me was the fact that she's thrown out where you could see her lying down. She wasn't like way up into the woods or anything. She was like way off. She was like right on the side of the road, thrown out. 9 times out of 10, a trucker probably threw her out, okay? White woman, Lord have mercy. Soon as they started to put the story out that she was a prostitute, I'm gonna say social worker. Yeah, she's a social worker. She was a street walker. Nasty comments. Lot lizard. That's what she gets. She's a lot lizard. I didn't even know what a lot lizard was. And then I thought, lot lizard, so I had to use deduction. Okay, walk in the parking lot at the truck stops. Okay, that's a horrible thing to call a person. So I said something to the person. I responded back like, you know, you're disrespectful. Why are you calling her a lot lizard? That's nothing to say about her. She's dead. She was thrown out like trash. So it doesn't matter if she was a street worker or lady of the night, whatever you want to call her. Nobody had the right to kill her. Now, naturally, you're going to hear people say, well, you don't know what she did, or maybe she tried to rob them, or blah, blah, blah. Okay, still, you weren't there. I wasn't there. That's still a nasty name to call somebody. And nobody has the right to kill you. Let's say she tried to pickpocket the man. We don't know. We weren't there. And you definitely can't believe his version. You think I'm going to believe the version of somebody that's picking up street workers? And they say, oh, yeah, I beat her over the head because she was trying to steal my money and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you hear them stories all the time. The women might be trying to pickpocket them. The best thing you do is you catch her in the act of going in your pockets or under your little mattress back there in your truck. You tell her, hey, you better get the hell out of here. You put her out your truck and you keep it moving. You don't have to kill her. You don't have to kill her. You don't have to strangle her. Because my thing is, why would you want to catch a murder charge? Because the person is trying to steal from you. Yeah, we know it's wrong. And we know that when you do wrong, terrible things can come to you. Because it is what it is. And we see this all the time. Because somebody might say, well, what's the difference between her trying to steal his money versus somebody breaking and entering your house? You know, theft is theft. And that's true. Theft is theft. But your house, that's somebody breaking the window out, Jimmy in the door. But somebody else may say, well, there's no difference. So, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I just think if you catch the person stealing in your truck, your car, your house, you know, let's say, you know, it was an intimate situation, I would just kindly tell them to get the hell out of my house. Because if you start beating them up, stabbing them, shooting them, you should know it's not going to end well. You'll probably be indicted for murder, and that's just the way it is. Because that's the first thing they're going to say, the district attorney. Well, we're indicting you because you didn't have to kill the person. You could have escorted them out of your house. And that's that. Or your truck, your car, or whichsoever, wherever they were stealing. But then, like as I said, people will weigh, well, what's the difference? It's mine. It's my personal space. What's the difference between my truck, my semi-truck, my car versus my house? Versus you breaking and entering. You jimmy the door. So it doesn't matter if I invited you in, you stealing from me. I didn't invite you in and you broke in. You're still violating me. And it's true. It is a violation, you know, to take from somebody. So this is what I say. Just don't take nothing that don't belong to you. But there's a story I wanted to bring you all. Oh my gosh, there's 2 stories out of Nashville that is just so wicked. Oh my goodness. It's about these girls shoplifting. And each story, I thought they were the same story the other day when I read them, but they are about the workers in the store. The guy shot one of the girls. He approached her in a car. She maced him, and he He shot her 7 times and she was pregnant. Oh my goodness. I tell myself I talk about this story. Some people probably will disagree with that. Well, she was stealing. Oh, she didn't care. I read the comments. They were horrible. She was stealing. What the hell was she doing stealing? Now, one lady said she didn't have no business stealing, knowing she was pregnant, but he didn't have to shoot her either. And most stores will tell you, don't go after the thief because we're not going to be liable if something happens to you. So, hold on. Let me try to find that. I might as well go ahead and discuss it. I'm not even an hour in. I'll go ahead and put that one on. Matter of fact, let me find it in my Rolodex. Hey, everybody. Hope you all are well out there. Happy Easter. What's left of it. I got 2 of them to tell you about. Stealing all the liquor while prego. What are you talking about stealing the liquor, huh? Walgreens, girl. Nashville. Oh, we're going to talk about Lizzo, too, tomorrow. I'm going to try to sneak her in before all that mess gets started with Chad Daybell. And Puff Daddy, he's been out and about. Oh, here's a story that's interesting. Police looking for Chiefs Rashee Rice after major crash in Dallas. So he's racing down the highway with another guy. One's in a Corvette, one's in a Lamborghini. They both lose control, wreck, cause a chain reaction of other cars. Thank God nobody else was hurt. But they're looking for him because he hasn't turned himself in. So now you're not going to be playing football for Kansas City or anybody. Why would you leave the scene of a crime? Stupid, stupid, stupid. Just stupid. Yes, Puff Daddy has been seen out and about. Lord, what a mess. And Russell Simmons, he's in a hot bed of mess too. Some woman that used to work with him has filed a suit of sexual harassment. Jesus wept. Russell Simmons, you too old for that. Hold on, everybody. It's going through my database. Here we go. WKRN is the source. Huh? Got shot? Okay. Where was that? I'm going to play it on the TV too here in a minute. All right, everybody. Let's roll with it. Travancia Ferguson, 25, is suing Walgreens after one of their employees reportedly shot her while she was 7 months pregnant. Her child survived after an emergency C-section. The incident happened at the Walgreens located in the 2500 block of Gallatin Avenue in East Nashville. Girl, you're crazy. I just realized what the hell you said. She was pregnant and drinking. I can't with you. Tacos, go to bed. According to the Metro Nashville Police Department, an employee thought Ferguson and another woman were shoplifting. The employee followed the women to a vehicle and then approached them. Oh, Lord. He then said he was sprayed in the face with mace before shooting Ferguson. The employee is claiming of several lawyers representing Ferguson. He organized a press conference Wednesday, March 27. We want Walgreens to be held accountable, Stewart said. During the press conference, Ferguson's mother, they got some names on them. Hold on, y'all. You know, Queen getting old. I can't be trying to pronounce all these names. Ferguson's mother, Shantanika, spoke on her behalf. Her mother was holding Ferguson's son, Raheem, who is still experiencing health problems from the shooting. So the grandmother is holding the grandbaby. Right now, my daughter is suffering, Shantanika said. I'm restless from having to wake up in the middle of the night with the baby, and it hasn't been good. In the 13-page lawsuit, Walgreens breached its duty to care by doing the following. By failing to have adequate loss prevention policies and procedures in place, by failing to train, direct, and or educate employees in general regarding the impropriety of physically assaulting, battering, and or shooting customers, by failing to train, direct, and or educate employees in general regarding the proper employee response to suspected thefts at the subject store. According to the Davidson County Criminal Court Clerk website, Ferguson was charged, this is the young lady, with assault and theft of $1,000 or less in connection with this case. Her attorney did not want to comment on those charges at this time. News 2 has reached out to Walgreens for comment on the lawsuit, but did not hear back by the time this article was published. So, holy cow. So this is what I want to know. What is Walgreens' policy about approaching someone that they think is stealing, or they are looking at a camera and can see that they're stealing? Because if your policy is let them walk out, call the police, then that's what you should have done. Number 2, approach the subject near the door, ask to see their bag, whatever. They try to fight you, walk back to a phone, call police. If they saw them stealing, the 2 women, on camera or by sight, why didn't you just call the police? Why would you walk out of a store and follow somebody to their damn car and say, hey, give me this stuff back or whatever? So allegedly they say what? They were putting the stuff in the car? I'm not going to your car. You're supposed to approach them in the store. You are a fool to walk out of a store and approach somebody at their car. So what you get ready to do? Get in a struggle over some stolen shit, some makeup or whatever the hell they're stealing for what? I don't, this makes no sense to me. 7 times he shot her. The baby has heart problems due to the mother being shot. Okay, just letting everybody know. Let me go in and see what else I had put in my little lockbox pertaining to this story, because I also have another crazy story in Nashville that is similar. Regionalmedianews.com is my other source on this story. Okay, let's see what they got to say. This might be the first article. Woo! They got almost 200 comments. So she is now suing Walgreens for shooting her 7 times, to get the worker shooting her 7 times. A Tennessee woman is suing Walgreens after an employee of the retail giant suspected her of shoplifting and shot her 7 times in a store parking lot, leaving her in critical condition. Last April, the East Nashville Walgreens employee, Materius Boyd, suspected a 7 months pregnant Travansha Ferguson or her friend was attempting to shoplift Walgreens merchandise from the store, according to the court paperwork obtained by Fox Business on Wednesday. According to the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department, Boyd had been notified by another employee that 2 women were stealing items from the store located at 2500 Gallatin Avenue. Excuse me. Boyd said he saw the women placing items in a store cart and into a large over-the-shoulder bag. What? So he saw them put the stuff in the cart, and then he saw them put them in a large over-the-shoulder bag and began recording the women with his cell phone. He proceeded to follow them as they left the store without paying, according to police. See, this is crazy. I'm not going to follow you out no damn store. You were supposed to stop them at the front of the store. Excuse me, ladies, I believe you have something that belongs to us. And then you go from there. Now, would one of them maced him right there? Possibly so. Tried to fight him? Possibly so. So he would have been at least fighting with one. Now, I don't know if the other one would have jumped in. We don't know because this didn't happen. But the point is, what is the policy? So now we got to ask that question. Walgreens, what is your policy for employees approaching suspected thieves? Because if your policy says you are not to, 1, put your hands on them, 2, follow them out of the store, you have a problem. What say you to Chad? What is going to happen to this lady? Let me finish this. Let's see. So they left out without paying. Boyd told police that he made his way over to the women as they put the items in their trunk. This is stupid. Why are you all putting it in the trunk? You should just jump in the car and start the car. They act like they were really shopping. This is crazy to me. Ferguson claimed on the lawsuit that Boyd never identified himself as an employee and aggressively confronted them about the alleged merchandise while cursing and screaming. Ferguson claimed in the suit that she sprayed Boyd with mace in fear of imminent bodily harm to baby Ferguson and herself, the court documents stated. Boyd then shot Ferguson up to 7 times, which resulted in serious bodily harm to her and the baby. Boyd admitted to police that he pulled out his semi-automatic pistol and began shooting. He also said that he didn't know if they were armed, according to police report. After the women fled the scene, Boyd went back to the store and called 911. Meanwhile, Ferguson was rushed to the hospital, where she was in critical but stable condition and underwent an emergency C-section, according to police. She sustained internal and or intestinal injuries and as a medical necessity, and is at an increased risk of long-term intellectual and developmental disabilities. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait. Let me go back. I'm jumping. Hold on a minute. Okay, she was in critical but stable condition and underwent an emergency C-section. She sustained internal and or intestinal injuries. As a medical necessity, must now wear a colostomy bag to survive, according to the suit. I didn't know that. Her baby fought for his life for weeks in the neonatal intensive care unit and is at an increased risk of long-term intellectual and developmental disabilities, the suit continued. Ferguson's lawyer, L. Chris Stewart, told Fox Business in a statement that she now has long-term health issues that she is forced to deal with every day. Additionally, Stewart argued that her baby, which was delivered prematurely, suffered a life-altering heart defect that will also require ongoing care. Police said Boyd cooperated with detectives. His gun was seized and he handed over his cell phone as evidence. Boyd was fired as a result of which violated Walgreens policies, according to court documents. We intend to hold Walgreens accountable for the egregious actions of their employee, who was a team leader at that location, Stewart said. Following someone to the parking lot and shooting them 7 times for allegedly shoplifting is outrageous conduct that cannot be tolerated by corporations around the country. Walgreens declined comment due to pending litigation. Somebody says, why is this asshole not in jail for attempted murder? Was he a white hillbilly and was the woman black? What the F? Lord Jesus, all these comments. Let me see. Well, he was black, I think. And she's black because his name sounds kind of black. So we'll go there. What do you all have to say about that? Yes, colostomy bag for life. I hope whatever they stole was worth it. Well, Bonnie, nothing is worth being in the hospital in critical condition and then being pregnant. For all I know, she was stealing something for her baby. I don't know. They didn't say. But $1,000 or less is what was stolen. Whatever those items were, they did not say. So we now know that was not their policy, for you to go out and approach the women. So he should have known better. And it's too dangerous. A lot of stores now have that policy. Do not approach them physically. You can ask them, do they have something that belongs to us? They tell you no. You believe they do have it, then call 911. And that's what he should have done. Because what if one of them had a gun? It would have been an all-out shootout in a damn parking lot over some cheap-ass shit from Walgreens. You got to think about your life. Your life is more important than that shit that these people are stealing. That's what people don't understand. It's not your stuff. You work at the store, but that's not your stuff. So you got to tell yourself, are you willing to die for some cheap shit made in China? That's what I keep trying to tell people. You know, you do what you want. But if they told you not to approach them and go out that store, then that's on you that you go out there, because you didn't have to go out there. It makes no sense to go out there. Because there are people who have weapons. And they will shoot you. They will stab you. So, you know, you see he got fired. because now the store is being sued. Okay. Let me find it here in this database up here. Hold on, you guys. Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Walgreens. What's going on with Walgreens? Because this is the second story I found. And like within days. And it's just, I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Honey, you all got to check out this movie I watched this weekend. Hold on, here it is. 388 Arletta Avenue. It was filmed in Canada about 12 years ago. Please check it out. Oh my God, it is good. So, so good. And check out my video from yesterday about squatters here in the United States. We have an epidemic right now of people squatting in homes. Florida has just passed a law, and I also believe New York is trying to pass a law as well. Somebody in the chat said their mother-in-law is dealing with a squatting situation right now. Let's see. Let's talk about this other story. I'm going to bring you another Walgreens story. This is weird. This is crazy.
In crime tonight, a Nashville store employee tries to stop an alleged shoplifter. Then that shoplifter retaliates by dousing the store manager with gasoline. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. News 2's Andy Cordan is joining us with the details of this frightening attack. Andy.
Hey there, guys. You know, it happened September of last year. Now, the employee tells me that he confronted two women who were allegedly stealing items from his Walgreens store, and that's when things got crazy.
That's when we got into a verbal altercation, and then it went from verbal to physical.
Cameron Knight remembers the September 3rd incident here at the Walgreens like it was yesterday.
She was saying, I'm going to let you on fire, I'm going to burn you, I'm going to kill you.
According to a Metro Police report, when Knight tries to stop Tochaka Waters and another woman from stealing, things turn ugly.
After she walks to the back.
1 second. Let me show you a picture of this nonsense. This is another Walgreens story, everybody. White guy employee, black lady, Tochaka Waters, attempted to light him on fire for approaching her and stealing. This is another Walgreens story, everybody. Thank you for joining me.
Back of her car, grabbed the gallon of gasoline out of the trunk of her car, and then started throwing it on us. I pushed my associate in the store because I was the one who started to get gasoline on me.
Knight says Tochaka Waters doused him with gasoline, mostly in the upper torso. Thankfully, his injuries are not serious.
A little bit hit me on the face and then all over my torso. And that's when my fight or flight instincts kind of kicked in. And then I actually lunged at her because she was holding the gas can. I didn't know she was already crazy enough to throw gas on me. So I didn't know if she was actually going to light me on fire or not. And I was thinking in my head, you're going to be one crazy person to light both of us on fire.
I asked the young man about the fear that Waters might light a match, as he says she threatens to do.
I was like, this is crazy. She's already throwing gas on me. I'm not going to even hesitate to even think that if she has a lighter, if she does have a match, which I didn't see. But I mean, like I said, I was in that moment. I was like, the fumes are enough to combust.
What would you say to this woman who allegedly doused you with gasoline and threatened to kill you?
Ultimately, I just hope that this individual understands how these actions impact others.
You can't make this shit up.
That's all I want to see.
Oh.
At the end of the day, I feel like everybody was put on this earth as a good person, and there's still good in this individual somewhere. But, I mean, at the same time, you did just assault somebody with gasoline.
Now, Cameron Knight did quit that job right after the incident because he says he was afraid of retaliation. And as for Miss Waters, I did check her criminal history. It goes back some 20 years, everything from thefts to ag assaults. Send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Andy. Waters has a $70,000 bond, and there is a hold on her out of Sumner County.
Sumner County. Where do we know Sumner County from? Ding, ding, ding. All right, this happened several months ago, everybody. October 17, 2023. 2 women were booked into jail Monday after police say they threw gasoline on a Walgreens employee once they were caught trying to shoplift in September. T'Chaka Waters and Latavia Waters are both charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. T'Chaka Waters entered the Walgreens on Murfreesboro Pike on September 3rd and began taking items off the shelf and tried to steal them, according to the Metropolitan National Police Department arrest report. An employee stopped her and told her to leave. Police said that don't make any sense. An employee stopped her and told her to leave. While Latavia Waters argued with an employee, T'Chaka Waters went to her vehicle. This is crazy. So the other girl, Latavia, is arguing with the employee. T'Chaka went to her car, got a gas can, and then poured gasoline on the employee, according to the police. The duo then began to physically assault the employee, police said, causing minor injuries. Both were booked into the jail and have since been released. T'Chaka Waters was not charged with shoplifting. So the other girl must be the one who was stealing then. But it doesn't say that anything was stolen. It just says they both were booked into jail early Monday morning. And they got out. Hold on. What in the world am I reading? It says both were booked into jail early Monday morning and has since been released. T'Chaka Waters was not charged with shoplifting. So that means T'Chaka wasn't stealing. So was the other girl stealing? I'm confused. I don't understand. And where did all this take place? Out in the parking lot? Damn. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The employee stopped her and told her to leave. While Latavia Waters argued with an employee, T'Chaka Waters went to her vehicle. So maybe Latavia, whatever, was the one stealing. I don't know. But this is a hot butter mess. Hey, everybody. Bonnie and Clyde. You mean a Bonnie and Bonnie? There was no Clyde. Both stories got 2 Bonnies. Damn. Let me see this. Nashville woman. Hold on, everybody. Oh. I don't see it. No, I didn't say Walmart. Ooh, too much going on. Nashville woman sues Walgreens for being shot. Let's see. There we go. Hold on a minute, everybody. I thought I had shared this story. Somehow I can't find it. I want to put it on my community page in case some of you are curious. Oh, Lordy. Let me go back into my library, see if it pulls up. Still not coming up for some reason. Well, oh man, this is for some reason it's not working. I don't know. Trying to get it to work, everybody. Hold on. It's just like you're on YouTube enough. Give it a break, lady. Yeah, well, no. Come on. What is the deal? I don't know why it's not showing up. This is strange. Well, let me see. Why it won't play? Woman's one Walgreens. Well, thank you. Thank you, darling. I'm trying to bring you all this story. For some reason, it doesn't want to come up. YouTube is so funny. Library is weird. Let me see if it's in my home search, because this is weird. It won't play for some reason. There it is. Okay. All right, everybody. This is the story that's recent, where a woman last year, she and a friend were stealing in Nashville at a Walgreens. An employee came out, approached them. She sprayed him with mace, and he shot her 7 times. He has been fired from the store, and the policy is he was not supposed to be going out there wrangling with these females about this nonsense.
A woman who police said was shoplifting, and now she is suing Walgreens. Thank you for joining us for News 2 at 4. I'm Mark Kelly. That woman and her baby survived the shooting. The lawsuit accuses Walgreens of not properly training that employee who shot at her at a location in East Nashville. It was on Gallatin Avenue. News 2's Kelly Hargett reports.
Unloading a clip into a 7-month pregnant woman.
Almost a year after 25-year-old Trayvoncha Ferguson was shot, her attorney says she and her son Raheem are still recovering. According to police, Ferguson was 7 months pregnant at the time, and an employee who believed she and another woman were shoplifting approached them in the store's parking lot. The employee claims one of the women pulled out a can of mace and began spraying him. He then pulled out a pistol and started shooting. Neither one of them had a gun, and it was in self-defense.
And now Walgreens is going to be held accountable, because we handle these cases all across the country. And what we have found out is a lot of times companies are using their own workers as security.
Ferguson did not speak, but her mother expressed the challenges she and her son have faced since the incident.
Right now, she's suffering the pain. And, I'm restless from, just having to wake up in the middle of the night with the baby and still be there to comfort her. So it hasn't been good at all.
The lawsuit against Walgreens claims the company did not properly instruct, train, and supervise the employee. Also, the company failed to have adequate loss prevention policies and procedures. According to Davidson County Criminal Clerk records, Ferguson was charged for assault and of $1,000 or less.
We won't be commenting today on those charges right now. They appear to still be pending, possibly. They may have been dropped already, which we're hoping that they were. But we think she has enough to deal with bullet fragments still in her body.
Coming up at 6, what Ferguson's attorney shared about the family's injuries. Mark?
Kenley, thank you.
All right. Let's talk about this for just a second, please. Should they drop the charges? The theft charges? That's going to be the poll I post right now. Lord have mercy. Shut your mouth. Your options are yes or no. Thank you for joining me. 117 in the room. Hey, everybody. Happy Easter. It's over with, basically, but God is good. Amen. She has a colostomy bag. The boy child has heart issues. The grandmother stays up all night with the child. I guess he's restless because of his injuries. She also had internal injuries. Weigh in. Should the theft charges be dropped against this female? And then the next one, I'll ask about the lawsuit. Take the poll, everybody. 125 people in the room. Take the poll. Take the poll, official. Take the poll. Take the poll. I got 10 votes. Come on, you guys. Take the poll. Take it, take it, take it. $13 votes. Come on, you guys. 100 people in the room and only 13 votes. Okay. Are you willing to share with us? Oh, you did say no. You said no. They should not drop the theft charges. So, Town Crier says the state should not drop. Tell us why. Can you tell us why in the chat? Tacos, did you take the poll? What? You remind me of my old teacher, Queen. Okay. Well, I hope they were nice. Cush God. Happy Easter, Juniper. Thank you, baby. Yes, I had a wonderful day today. I just sat back and relaxed. Thank you, darling. Thank you all for the nice compliments. Hope y'all had a good Easter if you celebrate. Have a good week. Please go to my community board and check out this movie. I want everybody to watch this movie. If you don't have to go to work in the morning, you can watch it tonight when I'm done with this live stream. 388 Arletta Avenue. It's a thriller. It's so good. It's kind of similar to ATM. I don't want to give the movie away, but I'm going to start you off like this. A guy gets into his SUV and there's a song playing on the speakers. He realizes it's a CD that he doesn't recognize. So he goes in and calls his wife. She comes out. I mean, it's like wintertime. Stupid. And he's asking her, hey, did you put the CD in here? Did one of your students put the CD in here? How did the CD get in here? And she's like, I don't know. You forget stuff. I don't know. So this goes on and on and on throughout the movie. Computers popping on, playing songs, TV popping on. It's just always some bullshit with some mystery music. You got to put it together. If you want to watch the trailer, it's on my community page, 388 Arletta Avenue. It is good. I cussed all the way to the end. I cussed. Yes, I did. I'm watching you always give good recommendations. Yes, thank you. Yes. Oh, she actually was and looks similar to you. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. 3888 Arletta Avenue. The movie came out around 2012. It's an older movie, but it's good. It's good. You are never going to put it together unless you have a very, very articulate mind. So you got to try to figure out who is messing with this guy. Who is messing with him? Who is messing with him? Breaking in the car, putting CDs in there, messing with his computer. Did he do something to somebody? Did he bully somebody, harass somebody? Is it the girl at work? Put it together. You'll never guess. 388 Arletta Avenue. Free on Tubi. So you have the Tubi app on Roku TV. Check it out tonight if you don't have to go to work in the morning. Is everybody done with the poll? Oh yeah, it goes. It's this phone. It does this for some reason. If I go live from the phone, she dims in and out. I don't know why. It's very strange. Is it a ghost? Yeah, it's called YouTube. It's a YouTube ghost. I don't know why it does that. I can get in light and it won't. I don't know why it does that. This is very strange. Now, see, it pops up. Woo! All right, I'm going to end this poll because y'all taking too long to vote. 123 in the room. Nobody wants to take the damn poll. Yes, the friendly ghost. Sometimes. 91% of you say no. The state should not drop the charges. Okay, next poll. So I guess you're going to have the same answer for this question. Should Walgreens pay for her injuries, stress, and the baby? Baby has heart problems now. Should Walgreens pay her and the baby? Maybe I should put another poll, just pay for the baby. Because the baby, it's not his fault that his mother got shot. Or some might say, well, it is his fault, but he's still a baby. He was in the womb, it's not his fault. He didn't choose his mother. Take the poll, everybody. Should Walgreens pay her and the baby? What a mess. Woo, Lord, what a mess. Think you can't be more amazed at stuff going on. Let's see. I need to get an update too. Evidence against Chad Daybell overwhelming. Legal analyst weighs in. News Nation. Just bringing you all the updates. I need to bring you an update also. Oh, I watched this lady here, the Carla Project. She's a YouTuber out of California. She's always cleaning somebody's house. She's got a new video, 81-year-old hoarder trying to change. I'll watch that when I get off of this live stream. Because, I'm always watching stuff about home decor and hoarding. I'm OCD. Check out the Chris Thorne Show. Breaking news, 13-year-old charged with unaliving her mom because she took something. I have to check that out. Check out the Chris Thorne Show. It's one of my good friends here on YouTube. A lot of crazy stuff going on. I'm trying to get an update on that bridge because I have not brought you an update about that. And if you also like following this nonsense pertaining to the Daybells, check out the East Idaho News. He has a video just uploaded. Courtroom Insider. Jury selection starts tomorrow. What to expect? I'll be right there, bringing you the 411. Wow, look at this. Lawsuit. 3 Arizona strip clubs. Drug customers charged their credit cards. Woo! Wow. Might want to talk about that. How much time I got? 1:28. Everybody voting. Should Walgreens pay her and the baby? Oh, you like the cooking shows? I don't really care for the cooking shows. As you see, Queen don't need to be looking at nothing about no damn food. 2 dead, suspect in custody after stabbing in Greenback. Ugh, crazy Tennesseans. We're wild down here. I'm trying to get an update on the bridge. Hold on, because you all, I have not brought an update in a few days pertaining to the Baltimore bridge. Hold on. I'll do that now while I'm live. Because I have not. I've been talking about this Puff Diddy and this Sebastian Rogers. They take up all my time. Because it's just like non-stop nonsense. Jesus. Man, I hope they hurt him find this kid. I don't like stories about kids. It's starting to get old. Because these people need to stop murdering children. It's ridiculous. So what? It would be different if she was a customer or staff. I don't understand what you're saying, Bandit. What do you mean? All right, everybody, let's talk about the bridge right quick.
Or after a container ship lost power and crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Massive cranes were brought in and crews are working around the clock to help remove the wreckage and reopen the waterway, which is critical to the economy. ABC's Chuck Syvertson has the latest.
The first sections of debris from the Francis Scott Key Bridge are now being removed 5 days after that container ship lost power and collided with the bridge, sending concrete and metal plunging into the water.
The north sections of the Key Bridge are going to be cut up and removed. This will eventually allow us to open up a temporary restricted channel that will help us to get more vessels in the water around the site of the collapse.
The governor acknowledging the impact this is having on the economy.
The nation's economy and the nation's workers are relying on us to move quickly and move together.
But admitting the recovery is going to take time.
And we will continue to marshal people and resources to ensure that we have everything that we need to do this work as safely, as efficiently, and as effectively as possible.
President Biden approved Maryland's request for a federal disaster declaration, which will provide help for small businesses in the area.
Because of this declaration, small businesses affected by the disaster can now apply for disaster loan assistance from the federal government.
Larry DeSantis traveled across the bridge every day. He says he was one of the last to drive over before the collapse, telling ABC's Jay O'Brien he didn't hear the bridge fall, but says he noticed one thing: no one was driving behind him.
It was an eerie feeling because there was no vehicles at all. And normally that
I thought they closed it
in the morning because it's right there at Amazon. You'll see 20, 30 tractor trailers coming and going.
That's weird.
There was nothing.
Meanwhile, officials say they are continuing to focus on recovering the bodies of the 4 missing construction workers.
To all people who have offered prayers, I ask this: keep offering them. The families, first responders, they will continue to need them.
Chuck Syvertson, ABC News, New York.
All right, still searching for the last few men. I'm assuming that's the 4. Recovered 2 in a submerged truck the other day, and now they're going to be cutting all those steel pieces of the bridge to get them on their way. And just looking at the picture, it's just a bad sight. I'm trying to understand how those the people who were operating this barge, they didn't get hurt, because that's a lot of metal coming down on top of a boat. Very strange. Has everybody taken the poll that wants to take the poll? And I'm going to cut it off if you all are done. So I think it's neck to neck. Should Walgreens pay her and the baby? 50% yes, 50% no. Wow, 30 votes. Well, I'm going to ask this question. Pay for baby only. If that makes any sense. And then I'm going to go ahead and give you another option, because I did not give you an option of not sure. Since the mother made a bad decision, once again, it's not the child's fault. The child's in the womb. They don't know anything that's going on out here. So should they pay for the baby only? You have 3 options for this poll. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $sign Big Angie. 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are welcome during the live stream. Hey, Zoe, how are you doing, honey? Hello, everybody. Happy Easter. Pay for the baby only. Now, imagine how much money that would be. I don't know. Walgreens is probably, Lord have mercy, what is with everybody stealing out of our stores and crazy-ass employees running after them? Because now this is 2 different stores, I'm assuming, with employees running after thieves. It's a bad idea. And obviously you all didn't follow policy, because you're not supposed to be following these people out of the store. I wouldn't follow a person out of no fucking store. I ain't following you nowhere. Because you don't know if they got a gun, a knife. And being maced is not a good feeling for anybody that's ever been around mace. It is excruciating. It is a serious eye, nose, throat irritant. And that's, I'm speaking from personal experience, being around it in college and one night at a nightclub. I think in college, and then another time I think I was around some mace was sprayed. Trust me, you don't want it directly in your eyes, your nose, and your throat. Because you can't see. Pay for the baby only got 12 votes, 107 in the room. Come on, you guys. Vote, 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 vote. I think I'm going to talk about this other story about these people being drugged in a bar, in a strip club. Now imagine you're married, got a girlfriend, and you lied about where you were, and now you are passed out in the strip club? So where'd they pass out? Oh, S-H-I-T. Shut your mouth. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Can't explain that, going to the hospital. What happened to you? Oh, I don't know. I was at the strip club and I passed out. You're not supposed to be at the strip club. Imagine that. Also, a missing California woman, Amanda Nanigorf, has been found dead on the border of Arizona and California, if you're following that story. Woo, we got some busy bees out here. Let's go to Phoenix right quick, and then I'm out of here. Okay. Everybody done?
Fox 10 Investigates exclusive. A lawsuit claims 3 Valley strip clubs used an elaborate scheme to charge customers' credit cards for excessively high amounts without authorization.
Nearly 20 alleged victims sued these clubs, claiming they were drugged and robbed in VIP rooms. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum joins us live now with a story you will only see here on Fox 10.
Left incapacitated, waking up lost and confused to find several credit card transactions worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's how plaintiffs describe.
It's called the Bones Cabaret Strip Club. If you are familiar with this strip club, don't go.
What happened to them at 3 clubs, the total amount of money charged between
Dream Palace Gentlemen's Club. Don't go.
Between them easily clears $1 million. The alleged victims feeling violated and stripped of peace of mind.
Dream Palace, Bones Cabaret. If you're in this area of Arizona with these names, keep your money and your private parts to yourself. Also, Skin Cabaret. Do not go.
Within the nightlife of the Valley is a 2-mile stretch from Loop 202 down North Scottsdale Road past McDowell. Some looking to stay out after dinner and drinks. Take a drive and you'll notice 3 strip clubs on this stretch: Dream Palace in Tempe, Skin Cabaret, and Bones Cabaret in Scottsdale. All 3 are now at the center of a civil lawsuit referred to as sister clubs. The latest complaint and demand for a jury trial filed back in January. The complaint accuses the ownership of racketeering and conspiracy, as well as several other
Let me look at the charges right quick, everybody. Hold on.
And Bones Cabaret.
Skin Cabaret and Bones Cabaret. They are sister clubs. Let me read you the charges that is in the affidavit. Civil racketeering, civil conspiracy, aiding and abetting, respondent superior, negligent hiring, retention, whatever the hell that means, and supervision. Negligent hiring, retention, and supervision. Intentional infliction of something. Couldn't catch that one. Sorry about that. It's a lot of charges.
Conspiracy, as well as several other allegations. There are now nearly 20 plaintiffs in the case. We spoke to 2 who want to remain anonymous. We'll call the first alleged victim Joe. Joe says he and his friends were at Bones Cabaret 4 years ago when he got separated after going to the bathroom.
I remember kind of walking through, I thought it was like a cloud of like either perfume or makeup or something, like dusty from one of the kind of like cracks of lights that was kind of coming through. And that's when I ended up actually in a VIP room and started to get these symptoms that felt not.
Let's hear that again.
I remember kind of walking through what I thought was like a cloud of like either perfume or makeup or something, like dusty, from one of the kind of like cracks of lights that was kind of coming through.
It's crazy.
And that's when I ended up actually in a VIP room and started to get these symptoms that felt not alcohol related, something else.
Do you believe you?
Okay, now this is getting weird. So you're gonna walk into a room, sit down, or you're standing up, you're smelling some type of fragrance, you become lightheaded, you pass out. Well, I'm gonna assume the women didn't come in there, or any men or bouncers or anybody came in there, because then they would pass out and fall out. So did these men wake up with their jewelry, wallets, watches, phones, and money? Because I'm assuming you've already put your credit card behind the, the desk or wherever, at the bar or however they do it, I don't know. So how is this, this is not making no damn sense. How is this going? Because you can't get robbed of your personal effects because the other people would pass out as well. Do you all understand what I'm saying? The strippers would pass out because if they're going to rob your persons, then they would also pass out from if it's something in the spray. So did they spray something lethal in the air? What is this, the Taliban? The fuck am we talking about here? I smelled some spray, perfume. Poof, I'm gone. Oh my God, my head hurts. That means stay your ass out the strip club.
You were drugged?
I do, yes.
Joe confirms he did not take a drug test, nor did other plaintiffs in the case, but they all say they became incapacitated after.
Okay, now this is fishy, wishy, washy. You didn't take a drug test, so I'm going to say it again. Did you check your persons when you got up or wherever? Number one, where did you wake up? In the room, on the floor, in a chair, on a booth? What? On top of a table? What? Under the table? Number two, did you check your pockets? Did you realize your shit was missing from your pocket? Your wallet, your ID, credit cards? Did you go confront somebody in the damn place that stuff was missing on you? Or all your stuff was on you, but your credit card was compromised and you didn't know until you got your bank statements? What the hell is going on here? And the fact that you didn't go to the hospital, you didn't go get checked to see that you had ingested something. Is there anybody out there listening to the Queen? Just got 85 people listening. Oh, these are weirdos.
After entering VIP rooms.
I felt like I kind of didn't have control of the situation. That was really the first instance that I knew.
Joe says he couldn't get out of the VIP room while his friends couldn't get in before he was moved to Dream Palace. The next day, he discovered several charges on multiple credit cards.
How much was the total?
Okay, this makes no sense. He couldn't get out of the VIP room. So you're saying that you were the only one in the VIP room. Number one. Your friends couldn't get in. So what did they tell the friends why they couldn't get in the room? That should have been a sign right there. Hey, I want to go in there with my homeboy. What's the problem? Oh, no. He don't want you in here. He's doing some stuff. Which we know that's illegal. Ding, 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 ding. You're not supposed to be doing anything in there but getting a private dancer. She's only supposed to be dancing. So I'm trying to get in this room with my homeboy, and you're telling me, no, he's otherwise engaged with Lola. Peaches. Oh my God.
Just under $72,000.
Joe's not alone.
You took a credit card? $72,000? Let's play that again.
It's in the case, but they all say they became incapacitated after entering VIP rooms.
I felt like I kind of didn't have control of the situation. That was really the first instance that I knew.
Joe says he couldn't get out of the VIP room while his friends couldn't get in before he was moved to Dream Palace. The next day,
This is where this is a problem for me. He can't get out. They can't get in. They move him to the Dream Palace. So moved him how? Out the back door in a car? Took him, what, incapacitated to another strip club? What the fuck? Basically, this is like a form of human trafficking. You're drugging somebody, robbing them, taking them out of one club and then taking them to another club. Oh, hell yeah. We got us a nice little lawsuit. Cabaret, Bones Cabaret, Skin Cabaret, you are done. You are done.
Discovered several charges on multiple credit cards. How much was the total?
Just under $72,000.
Joe's not alone. Fox 10 obtained Scottsdale police reports
Joe, get you something to do.
The clubs mentioned in the lawsuit. In September of 2021, a financial crimes detective says he started seeing many cases reported by alleged victims, detailing common factors like VIP rooms, having memory loss, signing and thumbprinting paperwork, photos taken of them, and extremely high credit card charges. Reports say patrons visited from several different states, telling police they were brought into these VIP rooms.
Just confused, felt lost, spaced out.
I believe I know that person.
Another plaintiff we'll call Bobby describes the same experience.
Bobby admits to only 2 transactions he agreed to, paying for drinks and a private dance. But after that, he says he authorized nothing else at Skin Cabaret. He later found 8 transactions on his credit card account.
Didn't think that these were actually legitimate transactions at that point. It just seemed unconscionable that this would even happen.
His total amount of charges, the highest of all the plaintiffs.
$181,000.
And the fallout has been traumatic.
Certainly strain on not only myself, my family, wife, had to get my parents involved. We had little children as well, so just the impact emotionally pretty difficult to bear.
Joe was in the Air Force stationed in Arizona, now feeling the stress.
It's been literally life and career altering for me. My career took a detour that off of the trajectory that I had worked hard to provide for myself.
They all tell the same story, yet none of them have met.
Rod Galarza is the attorney representing nearly 20 plaintiffs in the lawsuit. Police reports reveal how the VIP room process works. After negotiating a price with the hostess, the customer signs a contract, provides a credit card, ID, gives a thumbprint, and takes a photo. But as the lawsuit states, plaintiffs believe they were somehow drugged, claiming they barely remember signing any contract at all.
They vaguely recall someone yelling at them to quit messing around and hold the pen properly so that they could sign.
Yeah, that sounds right. Drugged, and then they took their hand and made a signature.
By a bouncer or a hostess to sit up straight and smile.
It felt like watching a movie through my own eyes, almost an out-of-body experience, because in my mind, I'm screaming to myself that this is wrong, to leave, to fight my way out, but they have the bouncer at the door, the disorienting hallways. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it out.
One plaintiff claims club reps approve transactions via text with credit card companies by using the Face ID function, holding the owner's iPhone in front of their face to unlock it.
The complaint says Todd Borowski is the sole director, shareholder, and the president of Wisnowski Incorporated, which does business under Skin Cabaret and Bones Cabaret. In a court filing by the defendants last month, they denied all allegations.
Borowski's lawyer released a statement to Fox 10 that reads in part, quote, "The cases are baseless. It's like going into a casino and asking for your money back after you choose to be there." Dennis Willenchek goes on to say that the plaintiffs were not drugged and the dancers were independent contractors, citing the signed documents and photos, saying, quote, "Their credit card companies also investigated and approved the transactions." Joe confirms his credit card company left him on the hook with the entire debt.
Because they're trolling, honey.
Holding me accountable for those charges, and I'm still recovering from that.
Galarza says charges went beyond credit card limits for clients specifically with American Express accounts.
In each one of these cases, an American Express card was used, and in virtually every case, the credit limit was exceeded.
Bobby's Amex credit card limit was around $22,000, yet his charges totaled more than $180,000. A spokesperson with Amex responded saying, quote, American Express policy is to review all disputes, including considering evidence submitted by our card members and seeking merchant support for the disputed charges. We followed our standard policies and procedures in this case. Due to pending litigation, we do not have further comment at this time. According to Galarza, the average total charges for each plaintiff is $72,000, and with nearly 20 victims, the sum is more than $1.1 million.
Are you still traumatized?
Wow. Oh yeah, I've done as much as I can think to compartmentalize the situation and try to control what I can control and get over it. But every time I make progress in my life to move on, I get an email about it, I get a text about it. I remember that, I could be able to afford X, Y, or Z, or have savings built up and capitalize and have those options that I've rightfully earned, but that all got taken away from me.
Well, all right, let's discuss this, okay? In the photographs that the men took, did they look coherent? Did they look like they were out of it, half sluggish looking, half asleep in their photographs? That's number one. You hear the guy, Joe, tell you he walked into the room, it was perfumey. He remembers somebody trying to force him to sign something. Everything was vague. You're also talking about 20 different men. So now we have to say to ourselves, 20 different men are disputing charges that are totaling $1.1 million. That's a lot of money for a strip club. Okay? And naturally, every man didn't have the same amount of credit on their credit card. They're maxed out for one. This is BS. Now, what you do with your free time is your business. You want to go to the strip club, you want to pay for private dancers or touchy-feely, whatever, or full-blown sex, oral sex, whatever goes on, that's your business. But nobody has the right to charge your card for any undue business transactions. That goes for buying a drink, food, whatever. They say they went in, signed these contracts, and knew the game. So they're comparing their strip club like a casino. You spend your money, you don't have no business asking for your money back. Well, I don't consider this the same, as going into a casino. I don't. Because at the casino, nobody is saying that they were slumped over at the casino machine or the card table or the crap table and woke up and couldn't use their damn debit card or their American Express card. So that's not the same. You're talking about 20 people. So you want me to believe 20 random guys that don't know each other maxed out their credit cards at a strip club? You know damn well that don't even sound right. And then all the clubs are owned by the same person and their sister companies. I'll wait. And then you took one man out of a club to your sister club. So you could play it off like he was never at your club. So that shows conspiracy and tampering with the evidence, which is a whole human body and a credit card. So as I said before, what else is missing? Did they have watches missing, rings missing, phones missing? What? Because if you so low down to mess with a credit card, you be low down to steal some jewelry off of the person, a ring, a bracelet, a necklace. I don't know. Why not? They're incapacitated. Why not take a chain off? Why not take a bracelet off? Why not? If this is your hustle. And then the company has the nerve to say, oh, they're independent contractors. Come again? Oh, so they don't work for y'all. So what? You got them off the what? The Facebook Marketplace? you all got them off the Facebook Marketplace? Is that what you're trying to tell us? You got them off of Amazon? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, they're independent contractors. This is crazy. So you got them off of Amazon, the Amazon wish list. Help me understand. So what are you trying to tell me? They pay you a fee for working there? Help me understand, how does it go? You hire the girls to dance, and what? Tell me how they're paid. Explain to the queen how they're paid. Are they paid hourly? Are they paid by tips from dancing? Tips from going into the private VIP room to dance? Help me understand. Because in the end, when it comes to tips, if you want a stipend from their tips, well, one doesn't know how much they're going to make in a night, right? So I'm trying to understand, how are the ladies paid in your strip club? They're independently working for you, so you say. They're independent contractors. So how are the ladies paid at these strip clubs? And the fact that you all are sister companies is interesting. What are the odds that 20 different random men claim that their credit cards were breached at strip clubs owned by the same person? I'll wait. How's that possible? And what are the odds? And the cards are maxed out. That's another thing that's interesting. So then a person has to know, well, damn, how would you even know how much is on a damn credit card? You got one guy for under $72,000. That's a lot of fucking money. Lord have mercy. You sure can. Right over there at your mama's house. Knock yourself out, sweetheart. How would you know how much to max a card out? How do you know the person doesn't have a $20,000 limit, $50,000 limit, $10,000 limit? Naturally, if they got, I guess, a gold or a black credit card, you're just going to guesstimate how much to charge. And let me ask you something. Bones Cabaret, Skin Cabaret, what is in the itemized list on each person's credit card statement? What did they get exactly? I'd like to know. What did the statement show the men purchased that night? Please help me understand. He bought drinks, he bought a dance, he bought what? He bought 72 dances, 60-something dances. At what? $1,000 a pop? Help the queen understand. Should the clubs be made to pay? So far, 70% says yes, 30% no. Who are the 30% in here voting that thinks they should not be paid? Help me understand. Tacos, what are you talking about? Is everybody taking the poll? 100 people in the room and 23 votes. Help me understand. 103 people in the room and only 23 people voted. This is a multifaceted live. This live was about Trans Day visibility made by the president today for Easter. I explained to everybody the reason why Easter fell on March 31st and that this Trans Visibility Day started years ago. Started in 2009 and put on paper in 21. And then we veered off of that into situations going on in Walgreens, Nashville, of a man shooting a customer who had been stealing a pregnant woman. 7 times she's now suing for damages done to her and her baby. And then I brought another Nashville story of a Walgreens, of a guy approaching a woman and she threw gasoline on him. And then I decided to talk about this story here of some strip clubs in Arizona being sued by men who were allegedly drugged and their credit cards maxed out. So several topics, about 3 topics. I'm going to end this poll because you all taking too long to take it. I'm not going to stay on it any longer because I'm here almost 2 hours, 1:59. But I thank you for joining me. I will try to come back on when I get more research about this strip club business, and I might do a live on that tomorrow. Chad Daybell is going to court. A jury will be selected, hopefully, this week. It will start tomorrow for those who are following the Chad Daybell debacle. Queen will be following it and bringing you an update. 4 men are still in the Baltimore water. Crews are working to remove the debris out of the water. And as you know, 2 men were found submerged in a truck the other day. Prayers to their families. Please check out my content in the YouTube queue pertaining to Sebastian Rogers, Miss Gomez, who is the ex-wife of Chris Proudfoot, the stepfather to Sebastian. His ex-wife has spoken publicly. I also have done a video about that. I may talk about that tomorrow as well. And that is that, everybody. You have a great evening as well. Oh, Lord have mercy. Some of you need to go to bed. You're not talking about anything. You have a great night as well, town. Thank you so much. I'm out of here. Thank you all for your time. This was a 3-topic live pertaining to Trans Day, acknowledged by the president. Some people are up in arms. A lot of conservatives are upset. But the point is, it is the moon is the reason why Easter fell on this day. So, you know, the calendars are made in advance. And this issue of the Trans Day being acknowledged by the president, that was in the making 3 years ago. So you're entitled to your opinion. And that's all I'm going to say on that. The other subject is pertaining to some women who were stealing in Nashville Walgreens, the ramifications of what has happened. I also put polls in the chat. Do you think Walgreens should pay the one woman who was shot 7 times? She was pregnant at the time, and her baby has some life-altering situations with his heart. And she also is currently wearing a colostomy bag. Should they pay her? Although she was stealing, she was fined $1,000 or less for theft, and her lawyer is currently trying to get those charges dropped. I also asked you that in the chat in a poll. Do you believe the charges should be dropped, and should Walgreens pay her for bodily injury done by the worker, that employee? He was fired. And then the other Walgreens story where the black girl tried to pour gasoline on the white guy who worked there, he quit his job. So feel free to go back to the beginning of this live to get those said stories. If you need verification, those stories are in the YouTube queue and also in your Google search. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all so much. And once again, if you'd like to donate to this great network, $McGangie129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. I'm going to get out of here and relax because I got to rest. So I can get ready to bring you more nonsense tomorrow, if I can. Please check out 388 Arletta Avenue. This is a Canadian movie made many moons ago, about 12 years or so ago. Very good movie. I've got it on my community board if you want to watch the trailer. It is free on the Tubi app. 388 Arletta Avenue. Very, very good movie. I think you all will enjoy it. It's a thriller. It's about a guy who is noticing some strange things going on inside of his car, CD playing with music that he's not familiar with. He didn't download. He's getting strange stuff on his computer. He doesn't know if it's a coworker or is it some boy he used to tease in high school. Who's stalking him and bothering him? And where is his wife? Ding, ding, ding. She also goes missing. Stay woke. 388 Arletta Avenue. Free on the Tubi app. Check it out. Good night, baby. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful week. Happy Easter. You've been listening to the Vault Excel. Thank you.